Hi, everybody. It is Sunday night at about 11:53, but it's still Veterans Day, and I had an action-packed day today. I just wanted to start the kind of daily reports. I might do it at the end of the day for the next morning, just because it was just nonstop. Had a wonderful day at church today. The Redmond Assembly God in Redmond, Washington. Had a nice, just fantastic people sang the national anthem, and it was just amazing, amazing, the support from the incredible people there. Pastor Rob Roy, Keith Vanderheiden, or Keith and Teresa Lunsford, and all of the great people at RAG. I greatly appreciate you and your support. You're when in my time of can I really do this or not, you folks have been nonstop in support, and I greatly appreciate that. And then I just want to say, Dad, this is my father, Richard Longmire, who passed on in 1983. We miss him dearly, but he was a survivor of the Bataan Death March and a Japanese prisoner of war. And a lot of the way that I am today, he was so civic-minded, community-minded. Look, nobody's perfect. He had his mistakes, but going through what he went through, man, oh man, oh man, I can't even imagine. And some of the other prisoners of war that I've met through the years, they have something that is just unique, kind of an aura. When they walk in the room, you feel their presence without seeing them. Anyway, Dad, love you. Thank you for what you did for this country and all Americans. All right. This, for the next 5 minutes, because these aren't going to be hour-long videos anymore. You saw me dump my soul. Hopefully you got it and you get it. And I'm on a mission. And the mission is to employ as many people as possible out of the 23 million. That was the last numbers, during the votes and all of the, Democrats and Republicans poking at each other, look at what you did, and all of the other kind of, basically, I consider to be crap. It's happened. Quit talking about it and do something about it. Well, I'm doing something about it, and that is Upgrade Seniors America, and the Rescue America Project is what I've created. And every single day, you're going to see the people that are starting to sign up as unemployed workers that I'm training right now. I'm starting here in Washington, where I live, because I ran into a problem. The first two seniors that I did this for, and testing the plan and tweaking it and making sure I could make it efficient enough to where I could charge $25, pay the unemployed worker $18, and build the servers and everything else, because it's going to scale up. My guts are telling me the responses that I'm getting from people is this going to scale up pretty quick, because it does something that has never been done before. It's using hardware costs and so forth that I'm getting from vendors, and they're starting to come around also, saying that for seniors and veteran machines only on this project, they're thinking about following my lead and dropping their profit to 1%, which means they don't lose money. Okay, that's not the purpose of this project. But it allows seniors to get upgraded in mass. Okay, and look, they've got a backlog of PCs because there's all the youth is buying tablets and new Surface computers. I wish I had one. But look, the PCs are at. I did an investigation going back 5-6 years ago. What I had to pay for 8 gigs of RAM. And a couple of other things like we're looking at $500 just for a video card and RAM 5-6 years ago. What I'm putting together, you're going to get a whole brand new machine. Not the monitor, not the keyboard. That'll have to be purchased extra. Or if you don't have an external hard drive to do your backups before we do the upgrade, because that's a mandatory thing that we do. We back up everything so we don't lose anything ever. At least hopefully, unless technology breaks. Sometimes it can happen, but I'm not anticipating that. But anyway, they're going to get a machine. But again, the whole focus of this project is to rescue America by employing as many people as we can. The training is simple. And look, for those do-it-yourselfers, absolutely, it's going to be out there. But the one thing that I'm already seeing appear is people wanting to claim this idea as theirs. And I'm telling you, folks, if they don't have a certified number, if they don't have a certification number from the Rescue America project, Don't believe them. They're not part of it. They're just trying to bogart it and come in and take over. And I need to remain in control of it for those purposes of making sure that everybody gets taken care of and the feedback loop is there. Now, one of the things I'm going to start discovering here, I'm going to diverge just a little bit to start identifying what I'm looking for in the unemployed workers. Unemployed workers, if you've got PhDs and masters, I've already run into this. You need to turn that off, okay? Get back to the core basics of being human and caring about somebody, because that's going to be the driving force. And look, senior citizens have been around a while, you know, on this planet a lot longer than us, and they can see right through a phony. And I just won't allow that. I will not allow phony people to do this. And I understand you need to work, you need to eat too, and I'm just telling you, if you commit, you're going to need to take care of our senior citizens. My mom, my dad, my grandma, my grandpa, for everybody in the United States. So stand back, and only those people that can envision themselves doing that are the only ones that I want to invite to this, because it will fail if you're not that type of person. And here's two. I'll have a written policy that you need to agree to, and even though you'll be independent consultants, you need to do that job. You need to do the work or follow the policies of what we're doing here. I mean, look, you'll be your own business, that type of thing, but you need to follow the steps, because integrated into the process is direct feedback from the seniors and from the veterans direct to me. Okay, you're going to get a thumbs up or a thumbs down on how it went. Now, I need you to also turn off your hourly figure in your mind. Okay, this is not per hour. This is going to be a fixed per engagement with a senior citizen and their PC. On this step, it's just the assessment. We tackle as many viruses as they have and try to change the settings. I'll cover that with you in the training to make sure that they're not infected. Now, sometimes that can be an animal just to get rid of some of the crap that's out there. And the seniors are going to know before they sign up for this that you're coming in as a mechanic. You're coming in to, number one, engage with them, let them know that they've got somebody finally on the other end of the line that cares about their best interests, not just making a buck by trying to confuse you and just mowing over you with technical terms and so forth. No, this is going to be very friendly. Just like you come into the restaurants that I used to run, of which I never failed at, by the way. My father was a good teacher. You're coming into my restaurant, and these worker bees, and that's what I'm going to call them, worker bees are coming in to serve you, the senior citizens and the veterans, okay? And my policy on the human side of things is you greet and treat people as though you want to be greeted and treated yourself. There's no hidden magic to that. But, you know, and I just bring up the food and beverage industry. Look, if people aren't nice to people, guess what? They're not going to get tips. And, you know, we want our seniors to make sure they come back to us in the future, because here's the magic, and I will open it up for sure. I got it all penciled out, and it's been crazy, folks. You have to remember that this has only been from real concept because of desperation, now going on 25 days ago. And so I've been a pretty busy guy. You'll see the piece is starting to form together. It's in my mind. It's just with a free mind because of a venture that I took and tried, and boy, it's working. And that's the in the biblical sense, it's absolutely phenomenal. I wish I would have tried this earlier. And that's enough on that I'll say that it's working for me. To each his own. All right. So we got the first piece. Is that you have to be nice. The second piece is you need to be patient and understand that a majority of the senior citizens never had anybody sit down with them and walk them through how to carry out an action on a computer. They've had to kind of fend for themselves and try to understand the technical geek speak that you find in help files and stuff like that. I mean, let's talk ground zero in the aspects of not knowing technology. And combine that when they've called somebody for help, they charge them $100 and talk over their head and really don't even fix the problem. That's what I'm discovering after talking with seniors. So this is even a more important thing that we do this, not only to rescue the country, to get people working in every city, taking care of the seniors and the veterans in their local area, but also, you know, just to make it available for the seniors to remove that barrier of understanding, well, how do I surf the web, or how do I get involved with my community? How do I join a group of other seniors that where your minds can come together in common interests and so forth? And there's a lot that's coming down the road to help on that. And one of the things I'm going to say right now, for the unemployed workers, this is not just a temporary job. Okay, in these projects, I'm starting off with 6 months in duration. People ask, why do I do that? It's simply to reevaluate what we're doing 6 months out, because there's a lot of pieces to this that it's not complex. Each individual piece is quite simple, but orchestrating them and pulling them together, it has to be right. It absolutely has to be right. So over the next 6 months or so, you're going to see. Lost my train of thought for a second. Again, there's so much here, and I'm going on 17 hours today straight with a nonstop. So it's you know how that goes sometimes. It's called entrepreneurial spirit for those small business owners. You're going to get it. You understand it when you are focused on something. And you can, again, I don't have kids at home, and so it's just me, and I take care of my mom. So I've got a lot more freedoms than a lot of people have. So thank God for that. Anyway, let me get back to what I was talking about. Every worker is going to have the opportunity to start building a reputation. And I want to tell you something. Just being part of this, I have no problem, based upon how you've worked throughout the project and hopefully the next stage, the next project, and then in the end, you're going to be invited to join the company. Yes, I'm saying it right now. The third phase is the creation of a company that is specifically designed now until eternity, including the finances, and I'm getting some incredible support from people that aren't publicly known yet, guiding me on this, but you'll also see the ones that have allowed me to put their names out, like incredible Tom Frazier and Chief Bill Cooper. These are people, hopefully, that you understand the credibility of what I'm trying to do here and who I am. This crazy idea, starting with 55 cents 25 days ago, how the heck can he be moving forward like this? Well, folks, I have, again, amassed an incredible relationship with a lot of awesome people around the world, and over the years, and really this is my first time doing it, and you can see I'm just calm as can be, because I see this with total clarity, and I've survived the acid test, so to speak, especially the last couple of weeks of very educated people trying to throw rocks at this, and I keep reminding them of the following. Okay, turn off your business thing. I'm not asking you to lose money. I'm asking those businesses that would normally, charge every nickel and dime that they could, even though they may think they're giving a good deal. No. It's for those companies that I request for hardware and so forth, turn that profit trigger off your normal profit. Give me a package price when I buy 10,000 units instead of one. And I'm passing that to the seniors just as fast as I can, so they get the technology they need in a different way. Now, after that, look, things go back to normal. Go ahead and selling your services or whatever you do. But this business that's going to be coming is going to be totally dedicated to senior citizens and our U.S. veterans to make sure that they are taken care of. And the people that participate as independent contractors right now in this project, this is what I've come up with. If it needs to change in the future, fine. But you will also have a vote, a consensus vote of those volunteer workers to help construct the future and help us pick a price that is a good starting salary. That, look, we can't give everything to everybody, but I want you to stick. If you're the person that, and here's how it works. All of the seniors are going to be voting on every single interaction. Starting with the $25 assessment, how did that go? Did you feel comfortable? I know it's going to be technical stuff, because normally you look at the mechanic doing the work on there, or the plumbing doing the welding and so forth, and that's kind of how it has to work. And our seniors need to know that if they take up too much of their time, they're not helping that volunteer. I want all questions answered, but at the time, we need to have mass. We have to do this in mass, meaning a whole bunch of people. And I'm going to ask for your trust, seniors, that the people that I'm bringing in here is simply to play mechanic. The next stage is where we're going to bring on people on the board, maybe some of the same people, but to go to the senior citizens and the different veteran of foreign war locations, I'm still working on that around the country, to actually do the physical builds or upgrades of the PCs. Yeah, we have to schedule things, we have to coordinate things, but I got that. Okay, it's just, again, I bring back the restaurant business, just like I'm going to be feeding 100,000 people instead of feeding 5,000 or 10,000, of which I have done in the past on things. So I'm just asking for, again, your confidence in me, and I'm looking very much forward to talking to people as much as I can. I got an overload on the phone because I don't race. That's one of the things that, especially for senior citizens, I want you to fully understand what's going to happen. I'm going to be creating some videos that I want people in YouTube and on the internet, especially our youth, get behind this. I'd appreciate it. This is taking care of your moms, your dads, your grandmas, and your grandpas. And folks, I'm telling you, this is a real deal. It's an out-of-the-box thing, and it's going to work. I've already proven that it works. I just need to duplicate what I've had success in doing by doing what I'm doing. And just like I brought in a waiter and a waitress in a restaurant, and I would, look, you have to have an intrinsic quality to want to serve people. That's just part of the deal. You cannot train somebody to have that quality. You can't. It's got to be intrinsic. So that's one of the things that I make sure. And then when I would train people, especially if they were just coming in, I would do the things that most restaurants wouldn't do. They'd send you some video training or something. I'd sit down with that individual and I said, look, you're just starting on this. You do like people, and you like to serve them. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't be talking right now. I'm going to ask you to duplicate what I do, because I know how to take care of waiters. When I was the waiter role, I was a waiter. I'm the one that walked out with $100 in tips, and everybody else walked out with 10. Okay, and that's just because it's the nature of the beast. If you totally dedicate yourself in giving service to every single person that was sitting in your restaurant section, and you really did. I mean, at that time, all the ashtrays were kept, all garbage was kept off the thing, water was completed, and you checked back just a couple minutes after you deliver the food to make sure everything was there. People, you know what I'm talking about here. You can't, you know what to expect in a good restaurant, okay? I'm just bringing that model over to the technical industry because it's been 30 years. Well, actually, I helped a couple of restaurants just pointing out things and trying to help them out because they weren't doing things right. But I haven't been in the restaurant business for 30 years. Well, let's make that 20, I don't know. It's in 20 plus years. Let's just put that, because I did a little divvy in between. But I'm also an expert on technology. And in certain areas, my artificial intelligence and speech recognition, yeah, those are passions. But what I've been doing all along is helping others fix problems on their computers. And I'm just thinking, out of that point of desperation, folks, that's where it started. I'm just connecting the dots from where I've had 100% success in certain things that I've done. I'm bringing them together, and I'm going to be sharing, without going through the pain of what I went through to get there, with the unemployed workers to follow a script, to follow these steps at this point in time on the assessment of what's out there. I mean, how many new machines can we bite the bullet for a couple of weeks and then order in mass? That's what I'm looking to do. And this has to happen pretty quick, folks. We're going to we could use any city that has, some senior citizens in it. And again, this has to be volume. Right now, unfortunately, we're going to have to go with the ones that have the most seniors and get behind this and so forth, because that'll be where we'll have employing a lot of people. But I'm also interested in taking care of the seniors that are as long as they have high-speed internet. Unfortunately, that is a requirement for this particular stage. Now, there's other ways to do it. I'm jumping around here a little bit, but think outside the box. If there's a way that you can take your computer somewhere, like a senior center, or can you connect it? Look, ask your mayors. If you're a small city and you're a senior citizen, you need to update. Have the unemployed worker do an assessment from a remote or physically. Again, we don't want to do it at Grandma and Grandpa's house. That's going to be another thing down the road when we actually form the company and hire employees. That's a different story because they're going to have full-on background checks and so forth. Right now, we're doing what they call a temporary worker background check, which still covers criminal and sexual predator registry checks. Again, I'll get into that a shorter video. But anyway, I'm gonna close today. It's 20 minutes. See, there's so much here to pass, but it starts right now. You're going to see I've got workers in training right now, and you're going to start seeing the feedback from the seniors that makes this real. Okay, I'll end it. I'll force myself to stop. 21-minute video. Please start passing the word around. www.stephenlongmire.com. There's a button that says buy now at the top. It's $25. That is for one of the worker bees, hopefully in your area. We're going to try to get one in every area to be alerted that there's a senior that wants their system analyzed to see if it can be upgraded, or if they need to get a new PC. If so, find out what applications they have installed, create the list of what we're going to have to reinstall, find out all of the technical challenges that happens when you try to upgrade or migrate data and so forth from an older machine to a newer machine. Because, folks, it's going to be cheaper in the end. Probably, I would venture to say it's going to be cheaper for an entire brand new machine with one of the worker bees at that level building it and sitting down with you or with remote, showing you the basics on how to use the operating system. And here we go, I'm blabbering again. A lot to cover. All right, I might do a couple of video updates a day. In the future, I'm going to try to get them down to 5 minutes, but there's still quite a bit to cover here. You don't know, what am I supposed to do? Who am I? What kind of look? If you are a good person, you can see yourself working with senior citizens that are going to appreciate you for what you do, and you can start off and understand that it's buy the PC, buy the senior. You start out, you get $18 out of that 25, because I've got some infrastructure costs I need to cover because this is going to scale up. And unfortunately, although I'm getting some pretty interesting offers from technology providers and software people, I still haven't had anybody from Microsoft call me back. I'm pretty disappointed in that. But then again, it was over the weekend and Friday that I put those invites out. I hope somebody listens and contacts somebody up there, because, look, if I call them, it's going to be like they wanted to put me into advertising. Same thing with AARP. I'm 55 years old. I get the AARP thing. But you know something? They saw this from only the making money side of things. They could give a rat's butt about trying to employ people. So, founder of AARP, if that's not the case, and you want to help America, help our seniors and our veterans, then give me a call directly. I'm a CEO, and I don't care how much money you got or what power you have. You don't intimidate me because I grew up around wealth, all right? It just doesn't do it. You want to do this and really take care of America and rescue America and employ people to take care of our seniors, then call me, whoever you are. I didn't want to even waste time, but AARP, you got 55 million registered seniors. To me, that would be a no-brainer. But you know what? I got to control what I'm doing because I keep the profit and money mongers out of there. The focus on this project, again, get people to work. The business down the road, that's a different story. But right now, it's getting people to work. Thanks, folks. I'll talk to you a little bit later.